On Thursday. If we're very good, she'll be back on Thursday. So this insanely disturbing fake video was shown at a conference of you-know-who supporters that was held at one of you-know-who's Miami resorts, and that superimposed his face onto a scene from the movie Kingsman, The Secret Service, and shows him violently killing his rivals like the Clintons, Barack Obama, Maxine Waters, John McCain, Sarah Sanders and Jr. were there at the event, but they said they weren't aware of the video, and the White House released a statement saying that the guy who lives there has condemned it. Now, he didn't come out and say it. Somebody said that he condemned it, okay? With all the Twitter stuff he does, he couldn't come out and condemn it himself. He had someone else do it. The question is, why would somebody put this together, and who thought this was okay to show to anybody?
Yeah.
Because it's horrific.
Horrific.
Yeah.
Don't watch it, by the way. There are places you can... It was hard for me to find, and when I did, I regretted seeing just even this... It's vile. It is one of the most
killing people in
disgusting things I've seen.
I mean, it's...
Yeah, it takes place in
It is
church.
a horrific...
Well, I mean, yeah, part of this is, and I've been getting into it on Twitter this morning with people over this, is that people are saying this is just free speech, you're being a snowflake, you're so sensitive. First of all, you're talking about sitting senators, and you're talking about Congress people, Maxine Waters, Mitt Romney, Adam Schiff, Bernie Sanders, President Obama, the Clintons, my father, you can't kill him again, but whatever, Rachel Maddow, Black Lives Matter, these are real people. Yeah. And so I always thought that if you, in the same way that if you make a threat against someone in office, I don't understand how this video is any different. Sarah Sanders, Don Jr., and the governor of Florida, by the way, Ron DeSantis, was at this event. I don't understand where we are culturally, where entertainment is showing doctored videos of killing fellow members of Congress and people you're working with every day. And anyone who wants to talk to me about free speech, I think, as all of you know, I mean, I wanted to come on here and talk about the Joker a few weeks ago, but we never got to it. I am not someone who thinks that we can't have content in entertainment and writing, and that talking about violence is important. But this is an entirely different thing when you're using pictures of actual people who are still alive. And how easy for all of you judging me that I'm offended and upset by the video. You try doing this when some member of your family is continued to have this happen over and over and over again. And it doesn't seem to matter to anybody in Trump world whatsoever. And you conservatives on Twitter, if this were the opposite and it happened in an Obama event, you'd be screaming bloody murder.
Oh, but wait a minute. Hold on. It has happened, and everybody screamed bloody murder.
Yeah.
No one liked it when Kathy Griffin did her thing.
Yeah.
What is the difference between these things? See, either it works for the goose, and then it works for the gander. If you're upset by it, this should be so insane to you. This is 2019.
Where's the tweet?
But it seems to me that it would be illegal.
You look very good. You look very like, you know, sorry, I just looked over.
On a positive note today.
I tried to do a special. My husband and my cousin is in the audience. My cousin's celebrating his 50th birthday.
I didn't even realize it.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. My first cousin, we were actually raised as siblings. It's his 50th birthday.
Right. Good to see you. I knew. So go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I think what, for me, this would be illegal because, you know, wouldn't that tend to incite violence against these particular
if
politicians?
Something happens to one of these people because of this, and by the way, Steve Scalise was shot by someone, by a complete radical, crazy person and almost died. This does happen. So the idea that we're just going to be casual about it and, oh, you're just being a snowflake, you're being sensitive. No. These are real people. I'm sure Maxine Waters' family feels the same way I do right now.
And Trump actually retweeted a very similar type of video. I think it was in 2007 when he was body slamming and punching
CNN reporter.
there was an image of a CNN logo, was like superimposed on it. And then we know that there was that man that had these death threats against people at CNN.
The bomb threat.
But he also hit a golf ball at Hillary's head in one of his tweets as well. Here's what I don't understand, though.
That's not the same thing as shooting people with Glocks.
But the president himself
I'm just saying the idea that it starts at the top. That's what we always say. He may not have seen this video or knew, but someone approved this video to be shown. You can't just put the video on your iPhone and have it show on a projector. Like, it went through a chain somewhere at Mar-a-Lago. And if you are the president right now, you tweet...
It was a pro-Trump event at the Doral, Miami.
Okay, but if you are tweeting all day long and you can tweet about Dancing with the Stars, it is now 11 a.m. on the East Coast. We have not we have not read a tweet yet from the president denouncing this, saying that this is vile. And that's why I say, where is the leadership? Because I'm just grateful my kids are too young to understand what's going on.
But it's not, it's not even just about that, because I'm old enough to understand it, and everyone here is old enough to understand it. I think we're all sick of this. And again, it's a cultural issue. It's okay to show videos of a doctored video of our president shooting other politicians
in a church.
In a pro-Trump event with Sarah Sanders, Don Jr., and the governor of Florida present. I don't care if you saw it, you didn't see it. No event I'm going to that would ever be accepted. So I don't care about kids growing up. I care about the I mean, I do, but I care about the president right now. Because what about the rest of us who are processing this? Is it violent?
And his supporters?
It's disturbing?
Do the supporters continue to support this kind of
this is
I
why
got into it this morning with a conservative writer about this.
Yeah, this is what conservatives have to remember. If you don't think this is okay, that has to be the position you come from. Yeah. You can be a conservative and say, this is never okay. This is about human connection. We don't want anybody thinking this is a good idea. That's why people came down so hard on Kathy Griffin. That's why people came down so hard in all the other iterations where someone has threatened.
There was a play where Julius Caesar was dressed like President Trump, and he was murdered on stage. I come out against that as well. I think murdering of all politicians in any form is violent and could inspire violence. And I don't say that about movies. I don't say that about cartoons. But you're talking about actual real-life people and sitting members.
Inciting violence against living people.
Yes, it is.
That is problematic here.
And he knows, because this is... You know, this is why people have such a hard time. This has been his MO. He has said, it's okay, go ahead and do that. Well, you know, either we stand up for it or we let it happen. If this is okay with you, if this is what you want the guy who's supposed to be leading your country to be doing, keep them in there here.
And these people have extra security right now.
Oh, yeah, they should.
I mean, all the people here should have extra security right now, who's been in this video.
We'll be right back. One of the most celebrated musical geniuses on the planet, Venezuela's Spanish conductor and violinist, Gustavo Dudamel. Born in Barquisimeto, Venezuela. I hope I said that right, but if I didn't, somebody will tell me. He began playing the violin at 10, studying conducting in his early teens, and was soon winning competitions around the world. As a conductor, he led concerts at the Vatican for the Pope and at the funeral of Venezuelan leader Hugo Chavez, before becoming musical director of the Los Angeles Philharmonic in 2009. He won far too many awards to list, and also conducted the opening and closing titles to Star Wars 7, The Force Awakens, performed alongside Beyonce, Bruno Mars, and Coldplay in that 2016 Super Bowl. He just this year received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Wow. He's an incredible musician, has done things for young kids all over the world. He is one of the top flight people on the planet. This is a great young man, and I'm thrilled that we're celebrating him today.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we have to bring you like a really stupid piece of news, because this is so unnecessary. So a Fort Worth, Texas police officer is on administrative leave after he shot and killed 28-year-old Tanya Jefferson through the window of her own home while she was babysitting her nephew. Now, I don't understand why the training is so bad that people forget to say, hey, put your hands up, I'm a law officer. Because that's what, you know, he was supposed to do. Put your hands up in the name of the law. Identify yourself. But then I look and I see Texas is going crazy because they walked a young man who had some mental issues down the street between two police officers on horseback with his hands tied. And then, of course, we know about the...
2019?
Yeah. About a couple months ago. It is the
Gene, who was shot eating ice cream in his own apartment.
So I have to assume that something is missing in Texas.
Well, I just don't know what's going on with de-escalation training. Like, that would be my first question for these police officers, because in most situations like this, at least militarily, you're trying to de-escalate so it doesn't resort to violence. And he just shot a woman sitting playing video games with her nephew in her home. I don't understand
what was strange is that he was 8 years old, her nephew. Her neighbor called because their front door was open. Her neighbor was concerned for her welfare, and the police officer goes in her backyard and doesn't announce that he's a police officer, and she peers out of the window because she hears what could be an intruder in her backyard, and he shoots her through the window. And I mean, I think, you know,
doesn't identify himself.
And doesn't identify himself as a police officer. I mean, you can't, as if you're black, you can't eat ice cream in your own home. You can't go to Starbucks. You can't barbecue while black. Now you can't, you know, be with your video, playing videos with your nephew in your own home. Why are black people disproportionately shot 4 times more than white people in these United States of America? I don't understand
what I would like to suggest, because we're going to talk about this more, but we have such a big show coming up that we're going to get through it. But yes, I know. I know. But what we want to say is that this is a detriment to everybody.
Yeah.
If it can happen to black people, it can happen to Asian people and white people and men and women. This is a problem, and we're going to talk about it, but not more today. We are going to